Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to another life-changing, life-altering installment of Tea Time with Eyek. We don't always drink tea, but honey, believe me when I tell you that we spill the tea. My name is Eyek. This is my channel. I talk about the plus-size experience through vlogs, fashion videos, story times, real talk, and I also talk about my move to Nigeria. I moved to Nigeria 4 years ago. Right now, I'm not Nigeria, but I talk about all of that. I am a journalist. I am a storyteller. I share and tell stories about the continent meaning Africa, all 55 countries. Someday I hope to do that, but right now I tell a lot of stories from Nigeria. So that's me. If any of these things interest you, please feel free to subscribe to the channel. You know, join the party. Join the party. Hey, join the party. Now, let's get right into it. Today, I'm going to be doing something I don't usually do on the channel. I did get a DM from a beautiful, wonderful lady who has a question. She needs some advice. I'm going to read you guys a scenario, and of course, I'm going to share my feedback or my advice. And as always, I would love to hear you guys' feedback and advice. Like I said, I don't do these too often because I feel like I could give you the information offline, but this one is kind of a tough one. So I'm gonna give my advice, and I have permission to share the story. I'm not gonna put her name or anything. And you know, I want us to rub minds together and give my internet friend an awesome game plan or strategy or suggestions for her scenario. So I film on my phone, so I'm gonna be reading this from my computer. So I'm gonna project my voice so you can hear me well. Hey Eyek, I love your videos. You're the plus size diva I need in my life. I don't know if you would be willing to advise me on this. I lent my boyfriend money, 800,000 naira. Now naira is Nigerian currency. Before this COVID thingy started, and he said he would pay me back. It's been a while since then, and he hasn't mentioned the money. He's doing a bit better now. Even when we order food or it's time to pay for subscriptions, he will still remind me, babe, add your own. So he knows how to remind me about money, but he won't remember that he owes me money. I love him so much and I don't want problems, but I need my money back. He can't tell me that he has forgotten because it was a lot of money. As of right now, it's just the principle. How should I confront him? Well, a lot of times when we have a sense that something is not right, a situation is not right, when we take that next step to kind of ask other people, you know, ask around, that's a bold step because a lot of us, we try to overlook things, especially in the people that we love. So I applaud you for taking that bold step and saying, you know what, I'm going to ask people about this. And thank you also for trusting my opinion. So first and foremost, 800,000 naira is a lot of money. So I don't know what he was borrowing the money for, especially during the, you know, this whole COVID situation. 800,000 naira is a lot of money. Now, with that said, I'm getting the sense that he may have seen something in you that would make him think that he could ask for that amount of money. You know, you guys are in a relationship, from what you said, you have subscriptions together. So maybe, you know, he knows about your living situation or whatever. So for him to feel comfortable to ask that, a lot of times when people make those kind of bold requests, they're just kind of pushing their limits. So there's a strong possibility that he was just testing to see whether you would give him the money. Now, because I don't know, you didn't really give detail on what he needed the money for. If he didn't really give you detail, if he didn't give you details on what he needed the money for, that's kind of a problem because it's possible he was just asking you to borrow your money for his personal upkeep. You know, I'm just speculating. I might be being too cynical, but we just have to put those those possibilities out there. Okay, so now that's out of the way. Now let's move into the fact that he asked you for money and hasn't mentioned paying it back. One thing I hate having to do is lending someone money and having to remind them, because if you have the mind to ask for the money, you most definitely have the mind to return it. You probably just don't want to. So you're right. He really can't say that he forgot. I do not believe he forgot. But what I'm kind of like taken aback by is the audacity. So you're with someone, you love this woman, you borrowed money from her. Not only are you not mentioning giving the money back, but you talking about, babe, add your own. To what? I feel like that would be the perfect way for you to show, for the boyfriend to show that, hey, I know I owe you money, but I'm doing my own part. You know, here, let me pay for this. Let me cover this. I got this. Those things also kind of add up, because if you're taking the load off of her, then with time, maybe a couple of years, the 800K will eventually pile up. Now, this is another angle. He might be thinking that I'm trying so hard to give this man the benefit of the doubt so that people won't say that I hate men on this channel. But he may be thinking, okay, she hasn't said anything. Maybe she doesn't need it. The fact that you had 800K to give him, he first of all may think, oh, she might not need it. And then also, if you haven't confronted him, he might think you don't need it either. And it doesn't have to be a confrontation. It can be a conversation. It can be as simple as, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, remember that 800,000 I gave you? When are you going to start paying it back? Or if you're not comfortable with being that direct, which if you're not comfortable being that direct, you might want to look at other parts of the relationship. But if you're not comfortable being that direct, you can be like, hey, babe, you know that money I gave you, I actually wanted to use that and add it to what I have to do a project or whatever the case may be. Now, it's painful that you're even going to have to explain this to him because it's your money. But babe, you're going to have to have that. Like, you're just going to have to do it. Now, this is the thing. A lot of times, because of the culture that we live in, we have this like fear or like sort of a reverence for our male partners in a way that is imposed on us because we saw our mothers do it, right? We saw that in the older generation. But also there's like, I'm just speculating here, but you know, we've been together, like, I don't want to lose him, blah, blah, blah. But like, a part of love is honesty. Like, you need to be able to have honest and open conversations. And if you have a conversation with him and say, hey, run me my money, and he doesn't take it well, then you've already gotten your answer. Like, if you were questioning whether he's an opportunist, you kind of already got your answer. So having the conversation might change the dynamic of your relationship, but that's most likely for good. So those are your options. Just come on, be like, hey, like, when do you plan on paying back the money? Or hey, I kind of need the money for something else. Or this is a third one, if you're petty like me. When he starts asking, babe, add your own, I will say I don't have. Like, I don't have money right now. I don't have money right now. The more you keep saying I don't have money right now, he too may start thinking like, maybe she don't got it like that. You might have to pull that on him, because it's the audacity for me. Like, I'm not shocked, because I mean, look at the but you might have to pull that third trick, and that's something that I probably would do. I'll be like, I don't have any money. Hopefully that might pull out his heartstrings, and he'll be like, oh, she doesn't have money, maybe I should give her her money back. But you're gonna have to have some kind of conversation about the money, because you've already kind of set a pace in the relationship. And I'm not saying it is your fault. And I'm not saying that you deserve it. You don't deserve that treatment. Let's be clear, you do not deserve it. But you've kind of already set a pace. And I mean, if you see yourself being with this person long term, is that the kind of environment you want to create? Is that the kind of environment you want to facilitate? Is that what you want the dynamics of your relationship to be? If not, bring it back. You got to set some new boundaries. You have to have some new expectations. Like, see, guy, if you borrow money, because from what I'm seeing here, you said I lent my boyfriend money. So that means he asked, most likely asked, can I borrow money? Can I borrow 800,000? So you have to set that new boundary. If you borrow money, you're gonna have to pay it back, which that's how it works. I mean, you don't borrow money from the bank and say, babe, add your own. So of course, And also, you need to consider not just the boundaries in terms of money, but like other things. I'm getting the sense that he oversteps his bounds. I'm getting the sense that he's extremely entitled. And I'm not judging your man, sis. Again, don't fight me. You know, we're fighting a common enemy. No, I'm just joking. But like, I'm getting the sense there's some entitlement. So there's going to have to be some new boundaries in place. Opportunists and entitled people, trust me, I know from personal experience because I've been there. It really offends them when you set boundaries because they're like, I'm not going to be able to take as much as I want anymore. But that's what you're going to have to do if you see yourself with him long term. And then he needs to do some character development. You have to take a look at his integrity. Does he have integrity if he's doing this? He might not. And also, the sad thing is a lot of times some people who, there's certain nonsense they won't do outside, but they will do to you. You have to look at that as well. So I hope this helps you out, babe. I hope that you take these things into consideration. Try the options I suggested. If it's easier for you emotionally right now to start with the I don't have money, then do that. But with time, you know, you're going to have to start having those tough conversations because they're real things, you know, if you're planning on building a life with this person. And it wouldn't hurt to go back to the drawing board and, you know, re-examine the relationship in its entirety. Re-examine your man, you know what I'm saying? Because we gotta start thinking like, do I want my kids to be like him? Do I want my kids to be like her? Like, we have to start thinking about that. In the case that we want to, any of us that want to have kids, we have to think about those things. Do I want his blood running through my children's veins? Do I want her blood running through my children? Like, think about it. So guys, that's my take on the situation. I'd be very interested in hearing your take. Please comment down below. What would you do? How would you confront this guy if you were in her shoes? What should she do? And if you have situations that you're going through that you'd be happy or comfortable with me sharing on the two with the gang, then please feel free to email me at info@africanrising.com, or you can send me a DM. You can also comment down below on this. You can comment on any of my videos. And if you're comfortable with me sharing your story on camera, then we'll definitely do that. Because I mean, hey, the Bible does say 2 heads are better than 1. So sometimes you need a little advice. You need a little nudge. And guys, this is the truth. A lot of times when you feel that possibility, like, this ain't right, it most likely isn't. And it doesn't hurt to ask people. See the situation. Now, good counsel is important. So it's not just everybody in these streets that you tell your business, because a lot of people you get. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you soon. Bye.